guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm back at one of my favorite parking lot locations because guess what? We have that compact SUV that everybody's talking about. This is it. This is the totally redesigned 2022 Hyundai Tucson. Our particular one is a limited trim with that H-Track all-wheel drive. But before we get into this small powerhouse from Hyundai, let's talk about what's going on here. Hyundai, they've been around since the 1980s selling cars here in the United States. Boy, have things changed. Their lineup has grown. It all started with the Santa Fe. That was their first SUV. And then slowly but surely, they kept adding more and more examples of vehicles that fit that SUV segment of the auto industry. After the Santa Fe was definitely this one. This was the Tucson. So this one's been around for quite a few years, finally getting a major redesign. And really what I want to do with this particular review is I want to compare it to probably one of my favorite compact SUVs, the Mazda CX-5. And I want to see what they bring price point wise, styling wise, and of course technology wise. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this 2022 Tucson and see, is it the best compact SUV, better than the CX-5, that you should be buying? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, it hits you like a ton of bricks. Total restyle to this whole Tucson. And it all starts at the front end, of course. You're gonna get a new front fascia. They went in a totally different direction with the headlights from the previous generation. So to make it look like the bigger brother Santa Fe and the bigger brother Palisade, you now have your headlight housing down low, all LED lighting with a functional side air curtain, gives it that nice extra touch. And then something unique that definitely is gonna separate it from a CX-5, let alone a RAV4 or a Honda CR-V, is definitely the LED daytime running lamps. Something just so different, so futuristic, and it's got the turn signals built in as well. You work your way down, nice clean angular style. You have this black chrome finish and some flat black. Very smart to have the flat black down below because that'll take a better beating over time. Now, as we come across the center grille area, if you go limited trim like ours, you're gonna get this unique grille. It's a nice black, dark chrome finish. Love the intricate design. They even went black chrome on the Hyundai badge, and you do have a forward-facing camera. If you like angles, you're gonna love this Tucson. If you want a cleaner design, the CX-5, in my book, is definitely the way to go. But very unique with the grille, the way everything's kind of flowing out from that Hyundai badge. And then as we work our way down, there's more black chrome, more flat black, functional both on the bottom end and also on the top end. Now, when we get up onto the top side of things, you'll see that nice low slung hood. And that's why I say this is similar to the CX-5 in a sporty look. RAV4 is a lot more boxy. The CR-V, don't even get me started with the overall styling of that. So you have a very, very low slung hood, nice indentation in the center, and then you're just gonna have body lines going towards the A-pillars. Now, as we come to the side of the vehicle, if you failed geometry class in high school, you may start to get a headache, and you'll see. Coming around the bend, what do we get wheel and tire setup when we go with the limited trim? So you're gonna get this 19-inch wheel, nice machined aluminum, dark metallic gray. I like the ornamental design. It's kind of got like a spinning star effect to it. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this thing? Not only is it 19 inches in diameter tire, 235 on the width, and a nice 55 series sidewall, you do have flat black around the fender treatment. Now, CX-5, RAV4, the Sportage, the CR-V, they also have flat black. The good news is I like the way they kind of did the backside here with a little bit of decorative design. And I'll show you where this kind of matches what's on the rear pillar of the side of this Tucson. But this is where things start to get very, very geometrical in shape, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Watch this. You have a body line here that spills down into the door and then bam, comes to a point and drops down. So you have this large triangular area that actually comes off the side of the vehicle. I'm actually gonna have Lori kind of spin around and show almost a flared effect from that body line. Very, very sharp, and that's what I was saying. If you like geometry, you're gonna love this Tucson. If you want a cleaner design, definitely go with the CX-5. Color matched on the mirror caps, nice lemon trim on the turn signals there. A little bit of the chrome, that brushed aluminum finish kind of spills off from the door onto the mirror. We do have 360-degree cameras. Flat black only on the bottom, and I'm so glad that they did that. They did the bright, shiny metal work to follow the top of the line, and then look at how it flares into that rear pillar. like I was telling you, there's more of that ornamental design that also is found in the fenders, even the way they did it with the reflector. That's a DOT required reflector. They did that same design up top and down below. The flat black, like I said, very similar to what you're gonna find on all the compact SUVs at this price point, but definitely what you're not gonna find that's unique to this Tucson is the unique body shape. You can see that side sill really sticks out at a very large angle, gives it that extra sporty look and definitely stands out from the rest of the crowd. Now, when we get to the tail end of the business, they kind of took a page from the Mustang Mach-E. The taillights remind me of the Mustang Mach-E. Put that in the comment section. Tell me what you think about these taillights. LED, unique style for sure. You got the LED lighting all the way across. And then look what we got. We got an H-Track badge. That means that we have that all-wheel drive system. And then look at another touch. No rear wiper sticking out. They watched Raiti's Rides at Hyundai USA, took that wiper off, they tucked it up underneath here, clean on the badge. I can't say that about the CX-5. CX-5 does have a rear wiper. We drop our way down, Tucson badging, and then I really like this simulated rear diffuser area. And you can see you don't have to put fake vents. They just put those geometric shapes with the black chrome, gives it a nice cohesive look from start to finish. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our all-wheel drive Tucson. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. I'm not gonna zonk it because if you look at the competition, including my favorite CX-5, they also have prop rods. And the good news is they put it all the way over to the side. Now, underneath that hood, you'll find a tasteful engine cover. What is under that engine cover? Very similar displacement, actually the same displacement as the CX-5. So you're looking at a 2.5 liter inline four, naturally aspirated engine, 187 horsepower, 178 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic. So if you're comparing this to the CX-5, CX-5 has a 6-speed automatic, and just for fun, the CR-V has a CVT, and of course, the RAV4 has an 8-speed automatic. And if I haven't mentioned the Tiguan or the Sportage, it's because those really need a redesign. We're waiting for the redesign to hit the market. But like I said, 8-speed automatic. The challenge is 0 to 60, not very quick. 8.8 seconds. Very, very slow. Not enough speed to get out of your own way. Top speed is 120 miles per hour. MPGs is where you're really going to come out on top. 24 in the city, 29 on the highway. The vehicle weighs 3,695 pounds, and that is with all-wheel drive. The great news is that there is a hybrid, for the first time, a hybrid version of the Tucson, which brings electric motors and turbocharged power. We can't wait to get our hands on that one. But why don't we go ahead, let's dive into the interior and see what 2022 is bringing to the Tucson. All right, guys, we're inside the 2022 Tucson, this limited trim. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, if we're comparing it to the CX-5, we've talked about pricing here on Raiti's Rides. How much is this Tucson Limited with the all-wheel drive? MSRP for this particular one, you're looking right around $37,000. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panels. So you're gonna get all new door panels, and these are some of the best door panels on any Hyundai product. Now, I don't mind the gloss black on the upper portion of the trim. Where I think they went a little wrong that I'm gonna have to zonk is the cloth. On a limited trim, there should be no cloth on the door panel. That should be like a faux leather, if not leather. And then there's a large patch of gloss black on the armrest there, right around the switchgear. Now, you do have the optional Bose sound system, and you have a very, very small door pocket that you could probably put a bottle of milk and maybe 3 large chocolate chip cookies. Other than that, tight on the space. Now, when you're going from the door panel to the dash, I do love the soft touch material. The styling is very sleek and very modern. This though, no cloth interior. Get rid of that. Nice soft touch material, but when you get to the infotainment side of things, big things in store for 2022. That's a 10.3-inch infotainment system screen. Is it a touch screen? Of course it's a touch screen. Another thing you'll notice, all the buttons everything's blended perfectly into the center console area where the infotainment system is. Let me show you what backup camera looks like. Throw it into reverse, nice clear camera angles, 360. You could make the adjustments so simple, all by touching the screen. Let me know what you think about this no button setup, no knobs either. So another thing to think about, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You do have your dual climate control. and all of it is touch buttons on the actual interface. The bad news is it's gloss black, so you better have your Tucson microfiber cloth to wipe all of the fingerprints off. Down in the pocket here, you do have wireless charging, 2 USBs and a 12 volt. Wireless charging is on the back side, and that gives you plenty of room for a couple Twinkies. Ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, hill descent control. And then of course, if you want to operate that forward facing camera, you have your different drive modes, which I'll show you more about that when you come to the business end. You can lock the center diff, which is nice. And then you have on the limited trim, the push button transmission for that 8-speed automatic. 2 cup holders, more gloss black. On the side, you actually have a banana tray. So you could put at least 1 banana in there, maybe 2. Get your potassium key fob. There's your Hyundai key fob, looking slick. Flip it around. You do have your park assist where you can move it forward and backwards out of a tight spot. Remote start. Semi-soft on the armrest. Open this up. What do we have? You have enough room for that trophy that you got on field day back in first grade. Drop that trophy right in there. Keep it safe. Keep it close. Seats, nice soft material. Love the silver trim, the perforated design. Even on the bottom portion, looking good. Full electric assist for the passenger and the driver. And then of course, to top that off, we got a massive panoramic sunroof in here. Everybody is going to be able to get some vitamin D, and then you just close it up. Real nice, easy to use, which is great. Look at that. Closes right up. I got plenty of headroom. I'm 6 feet tall, got plenty of headroom. But why don't you come over to the business end, because I want to show you another 10-inch display that's going to blow your mind. All right, guys, we're in the business side of things in this Tucson. You do have 2 memory seat settings and all your electric seat controls, including lower lumbar. That feels really good. Like I said, the seats are comfy. I got plenty of headroom. This is probably one of my favorite looking Hyundai steering wheels currently available. A nice leather wrap steering wheel, a little bit of silver trim, especially around the horn button. Very, very tasteful. Silver buttons, gloss black buttons, and then you do have paddles on the back of the steering wheel to go up and down the 8-speed automatic, manual adjustment, tilting and telescoping. And then this one, I promise you 10 inches. There's another 10 inches smack dab in your face. 10.3-inch digital display. I like the way you could go through the different readouts in the center. There's our little silver Tucson displayed. And then my favorite part is going into different modes. You go into sport, look at how everything changes. Smart, snow, back to normal, and back to sport. Remember, when you go into the different modes, you can adjust throttle sensitivity, steering, and then on top of that, you do have your corner cameras, which are great to show off, because this is technology that Hyundai has been bringing to the table. Nicely done. Not going to find that on a CX-5 for sure. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the back seat and see how your passengers are going to enjoy this Tucson. All right, guys, back seat time. The great news is with the sporty exterior, you're not losing any headroom back here. Even with the panoramic sunroof, backs of the seats, nice soft material. You do have the plastic, which is good for the kids. The one thing I'm going to have to zonk is the cargo net. Just, I don't know, I feel like this is going to rip over time. It would be nice to have a faux leather backing to the seat for all those things like 1-pound bags of Twizzlers. Nicer to put in that type of pocket rather than the cargo net. But you do have rear AC vents and USBs down below, which is great. Heated seats are on the limited trim. And the interesting thing is you actually get to your heated seats by the door button here. So there's your window, there's your heated seats. The seats themselves are very comfortable. You do have, just got to pull on it a little bit, nice high armrest, 2 cup holders, and then they don't slide, but the seats do recline quite a bit to make it a little bit more enjoyable for those back seat passengers. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the cargo area and see how much we could haul in the Tucson. All right, guys, time to get in that cargo area. You're going to push the button real easy. Nice electric assist on the limited trim. Opens up fairly quickly, and what you're going to be greeted to is a very low loading floor, very wide and very tall. Like that, it's going to allow you to be able to get mountain bikes, whatever you need into the back. There is a 12 volt on the driver's side. So if you're going to go tailgating, if you're going to the beach, if you're going camping, you do have that connectivity in the back. You'll also notice the handles for the seats to pull those handles and fold the seats down. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, how much space do we have? You're basically looking at 38.7 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Fold the seats down, it's 80.7 cubic feet of space. And to fold the seats down, like I told you, You're just gonna pull here, boop, and then I'm gonna get the one on the driver's side. 1, 2, 3. And let me just showcase something real quick while Lori is filming the back here. This does lock down nice and flat. So don't be confused. Hey, those aren't flat. You lock them down. You don't have to worry about them popping up and all your junk going out the back tailgate as it's open. But why don't we go ahead? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take our Tucson and go for a little spin. All right, guys, we're in the 2022 Tucson with the H-Track all-wheel drive. Right away, I mean, visibility is king at the front of the business. The way they pull the A-pillars way far apart, nice smooth dash. I could see a little bit of the hood. And then the instrumentation and the new infotainment system is also very easy to read and easy to get to. Now, of course, like I promised, we're gonna go into sport mode, so I'm just gonna hit the little tab. Boom, now we're in sport mode. That's gonna adjust throttle sensitivity, steering input, how the transmission and the engine behaves with one another. Obviously, from a technology standpoint, this thing blows the CX-5 out of the water. Also, the RAV4, the Sportage, and the CR-V. Steering wheel has a nice thickness to it. And it's interesting because even though there's no hood for the gauge cluster, it doesn't have a lot of glare. You can see those turn signal cameras. Love that technology that Hyundai is bringing to the table. Seats feel good, especially because we have ventilated seats. Very happy to report. I'm gonna slow down here. I'm actually gonna come to a stop. I don't think anybody's behind us. Hopefully nobody's behind us, right? I'm gonna come to a stop and we're gonna do an on throttle acceleration. On throttle, here we go. So definitely as reported, more than 8 seconds, 0 to 60. So you're not gonna win any drag races. I would like to see acceleration be around 7.5 seconds, which still isn't mind-blowing quick, but it's enough to get out of your own way. The great news is that all-wheel drive system, that H-Track all-wheel drive system, getting the power to the ground, obviously front-wheel drive based, but then it transfers more power to the rears as more slippage is detected. And for people up north, that definitely is something that they're going to want to look at, is having an all-wheel drive system. I'm still not 100% sure how I feel about not having any switches or knobs. Now, the great news is it gives the dash a whole clean appearance. The bad news is everything is on this gloss black material, which, like I said, is going to show the fingerprints. But brakes feel good. The dash is really, really clean, well sorted with the information. And you're going to have plenty of room for everybody up front and also in the back. All right, guys, back on throttle. Here we go. So great work that they've done to the chassis from a handling standpoint. Very, very responsive, which is good. And I'm telling you, the sound deadening, the thickness of the glass, they did a great job with all those. Let's see how the all-wheel drive works here. Into this right-hand bend. Nice and planted, look at that. On the brakes. And remember, Hyundai's doing some great things at the racetrack and also at rally championships in the World Rally Series, bringing a lot of that all-wheel drive technology to their whole lineup of vehicles. But very, very smooth. The shifts are smooth from that 8-speed automatic transmission. And then you're going to get all the safety features, the blind spot monitoring, the emergency braking, lane keep assist. But these cameras, I'm telling you, the turn signal cameras are some of my favorite things in this 2022 Tucson. Besides the infotainment system as well. I mean, if you don't like iPad-style screens, this is the screen for you. Nicely planted in there, super smooth. On throttle, here we go. Telling you, the shifts, they did a great job with the gearbox. And it's interesting because when you go limited trim, you don't actually have the shifter, and that cleans up the whole center console area. You got the wireless charging, which is nice and easy to get to. So they really did think things through very well. On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. I tell you, the all-wheel drive system in this thing really gets the power to the ground. And I mean, you are getting smooth power delivery with the naturally aspirated engine. The only downside is that you're not getting very fast acceleration. So it would be nicer, like I said, to have a little quicker acceleration, but definitely drivability, very, very smooth and very comfortable. All right, here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and get on the highways and byways in our 2022 Tucson. I really want to see how it feels going down the highway, especially with all the chassis changes that they made and all the sound deadening material that they've added compared to the previous generation. But real easy to drive, and definitely the comfort level is there. I like the way they have a traditional 8-speed automatic rather than some CVT gearbox, which doesn't have any gears, remember. But let's go ahead and get out onto the highway and see how this Tucson handles expansion joints, bumps in the road, and everything else that could kind of upset the ride. But as you can see, it's drama-free, super smooth, not a lot of road noise, not a lot of wind noise. You are getting some glare from the gloss black up here, but surprisingly, no glare on the infotainment system and definitely no glare on the gauges. And like I said, we could change the modes, go into smart, go into normal. And then for those up north, there is snow mode as well. So Hyundai really has thought this one through with their all-wheel drive system. But very, very smooth. Nice level of materials. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what the 2022 Tucson Limited with the H-Track all-wheel drive is all about. We're going to get back to where it all started and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another wonderful day with this 2022 Tucson. I definitely got to thank everybody over at Hyundai USA for allowing Raity's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle. It really goes to show that Hyundai is not messing around, and they are willing to go past the boundaries when it comes to very unique style. And definitely when it comes to that technology on the inside. Let me know what you would go with. Would you go with a CX-5 over the Tucson, or would you take one of the other competitors? Let me know all that great information in the comment section. But if you want to keep seeing small size SUVs on Raity's Rides, also put that in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the first link. Get yourself some Raity's Rides merch. Click the second link, become a Raity's Rides Patreon member. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera. No holds barred. She's throwing it down, and she is solid like a rock. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. Show her some love in that comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.